Have you ever wondered what happens when you choose not to speak during a police encounter, especially when you are being questioned? It is a common concern many people have about their rights. The straightforward answer is that generally, your silence cannot be used directly against you as evidence of guilt if you are formally asserting your right to remain just silent, but there are important nuances to understand. The Fifth Amendment to the United States Constitution protects your right against self-incrimination, meaning you cannot be compelled to be a witness against yourself. This protection is famously known as your Miranda right to remain just silent, established by the landmark Supreme Court case Miranda v. Arizona. When you are in police custody and being interrogated, officers are required to inform you of these rights. The critical part is that you must clearly and unambiguously invoke your right to remain just silent. Simply staying quiet without saying anything specific, especially before arrest or before Miranda warnings are given, can sometimes be interpreted differently. The law requires you to make your intent to remain just silent known. To effectively use this right, you should clearly state something like, "I am exercising my right to remain just silent," or "I wish to speak with an attorney before answering any questions." This declaration puts law enforcement on notice and should stop their questioning. Without this clear statement, a prosecutor might argue that your silence was not an invocation of your Fifth Amendment right, but rather a choice not to cooperate, potentially using it against you in certain contexts. A key legal concept here is the distinction between pre-arrest silence and post-Miranda silence. Pre-arrest, if you are not in custody, the Supreme Court has ruled that your silence can potentially be used by prosecutors as evidence. However, once you are arrested and have been read your Miranda rights, and you clearly invoke your right to remain just silent, your subsequent silence cannot typically be used against you in court. It is a subtle but vital difference in how the law applies. Understanding and properly asserting your right to remain just silent is one of the most powerful tools you have when interacting with law enforcement. It ensures that you control the information you provide and prevents accidental self-incrimination, ultimately protecting your legal standing. Always remember that a clear statement is your best defense.